Now it's time to shift gears and let's get into the safeties. We're talking some safeties here tonight. Shoring up the back end of your defense is something that a lot of teams like to do. So we're going to be breaking down what are the best players at the safety position that could come in and make an immediate impact for your team. Top 8 safeties. Let me get this all ready to go and we can start rolling with them. 1 second here. Let's bring up our safeties. All right, safety draft preview. Starting out, number 8, Ronnie Hickman, Ohio State. We have a lot of Ohio State guys in this as well. We mentioned we've seen a lot of Tennessee players across all the positions that we've rated so far, but we've also seen a lot of Ohio State Buckeyes. So safety, Ohio State, 6 foot, 203, 445, 40. You have a player comp to Von Bell. You want to get started on Ronnie Hickman, Scotty?
Yeah. I mean, here's a guy. Listen, obviously, there's a lot of history with DBs and Ohio State, more so at corner than safety. But he's very very good in the middle of the field. So the number, and he's got the speed. 4.45 doesn't sound incredibly fast when you look at other positions, but the safety position, you'll notice as we get through these guys, 4.45 is plenty fast. His instincts get him in trouble a little bit of time. Like he's a little too aggressive at times where he jumps routes or can be manipulated by the quarterback's eyes and gets out of position on some throws, which is, correctable, especially with a young kid who wants to make plays and get highlight film. And you're also playing at Ohio State where you probably trust the other guys around you to like make plays, even if you are aggressive trying to make that big play. He's actually really, really good at the line of scrimmage. You might want to piece him in the box and do a little more dime package where he plays maybe against the slot and is in the box. He's great around the line of scrimmage and in the middle of the field roaming. You get him on the outside, that's where he might be in trouble, but can play a too high scheme pretty easily at a safety spot. And as I talk about the safety class, Chris, it's not what I would consider an all-time safety class by any stretch of the imagination. These guys that I have at 5 through 8, even maybe 4 through 8, you could easily replace with 5 other guys that are pretty comparable. I think a lot of these guys are going middle of the draft, 3rd, 4th, 5th round is where you're going to see a ton of safeties go off the board. As far as top safeties in the draft, I don't think you see one go in the first. Maybe one guy goes in the first. And I don't even know if you have 2 players go in the top 2 rounds at safety position. This is not a great safety class by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, a little lacking, I think, across the board in the safety category. So keep that in mind. Even though we have some of these guys ranked like top 2, top 3, that doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be guys that are going to be game changers. They might come in and they might show out a little bit, but, a lot of these guys, it's not deep when it comes to this position. Hickman, obviously, is on our list here. Breakout 2022 campaign, only allowed 13 catches on 30 targets for 107 yards with a pick and 5 pass breakup. So, still, in a good little scheme there in Ohio State, able to play some and perform well in the grand scheme of things and in a really, really good team at Ohio State. So, yeah, I think he can maybe slot in and you can get maybe some potential value if, he sneaks into, some of these mid rounds of the NFL draft. But, I think it's worth maybe taking your eye on with maybe your 2nd or 3rd pick, depending on which team, is kind of vying for, some help in the back end of your defense. Next up, JL Skinner, safety, Boise State, 6'4", 209, 455, 40. You have a player comp here to Ronnie Harrison. He comes in at number 7 on our list here, Scotty.
Yeah. Obviously at a Boise State, so decent, obviously program, but not a high end. 6'4", very, very long. Kind of on the, lengthy, skinny side as far as at 209, that's plenty big, but at 6'4", He's a little more on the skinny side of things. But he will run and he will hit. He is fearless, Chris. This is a dude that's fearless, similar to Ronnie Harrison, where he's not afraid to hit. Length, athleticism for days. He has, but my thing is between the ears, Chris. He plays like he has no one's coached him before. He plays wild out there. He's fast. He's reckless. He's gonna do all the things. But in a scheme, like sometimes that's not what you want your safety to do. Like you talked about, your back end guy that's supposed to protect things, and this guy will be aggressive more than any other guy we talk about. He's aggressive, and when he makes the wrong read, he will grab, and he will stop that guy from beating you over the top, which works great in college because it's only a 15-yard penalty or whatever. But the NFL, that changes things. I don't know if he plays deep early on until he proves that he has the mental side of that. I think he's more an in the box guy until there, and more scheme specific. But absolute, if you can if you can make him figure out how to properly play and read the situation, read offenses, and make the right decision between the ears, the physicality, the athleticism, the length is everything you'd want in a safety.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's been pretty.
And I'm going to do a code yellow.
Code yellow in the chat. He's been a solid safety for the Broncos. As a senior, he totaled 65 tackles, 4 interceptions, 5 passes broken up in 2022. In 2021, he had 92 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, 3 passes broken up. So he's been consistent when he's actually playing, good football. He's been very, very good. So he accepted an invitation to the Senior Bowl. Some people said he was a little undersized. I don't know if I necessarily agree 100% there. I think he's kind of middle of the road, but maybe on the lighter side. But potentially picked between rounds 3 and 5. I don't think he goes higher than 3. I think this is kind of where his ceiling is, but very raw. And I think he can be a very interesting guy if you can, again, tame the Bronco, I guess, right? Tame the Bronco. If you can put him in a position where he is, in control and kind of understands what's going on in the right defense, I feel like he could be a really, really solid pick here at numbers.
Because the Broncos are already tame.
I mean, my Broncos are a whole different story. By the way, Broncos have are we getting white helmets in Denver this year? I saw some alternate helmets. Speaking of the Broncos, they're doing a white alternate helmet potentially. They're teasing it on social media. Speaking of social media, I'm just going from tangent to tangent to tangent. If you're not following us on socials, give us a follow on our social media accounts where we post all of our draft coverage and all of our funny clips, all of our fun clips, all of our other just recaps of everything we discuss here, NBA talk, you name it. We put it on our YouTube. We're trying to grow our YouTube, so if you're here, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you have not already on those. We also have our Discord channel that you have in the chat right there. The link is right at the bottom of your chat. Go click on that Discord link. Make sure you guys know exactly where that is, so you can just talk sports with us whenever we're not live. We are on that Discord channel. And then also subscribe with Prime. If you do not know, you can subscribe to one channel for free each month. If you know, you know. And that's the best way to go about just making sure you guys are supporting all your favorite creators online. That's the way you can support us as we continue to bring you all of these draft analysis segments, all of the NBA playoffs, all of the NHL, baseball, you name it. Let's get you guys involved and have some fun with us here in the Action Lab and in our Discord server as well. So join in and have some fun with us. Next up, Christopher Smith, safety out of Georgia, 5'11", 192, 4'6", 40. We got a Micah Hyde comp here. Number 6 on our safety list. Number 6, Scotty. Now, nice player here out of Georgia. Georgia, obviously, with that defense that's always always bringing the heat, right? So, when it comes to this guy, where do you think he slots in? I think right now, currently, again, similar to the last prospect, I don't think he goes anywhere before round 3. I think between 3 and 5 is kind of where he's tailored to slot into, but solid back end defender in Georgia over the past few seasons. 57 tackles, 1 sack, 3 interceptions, 5 passes broken up. In 2021, 34 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 4 passes broken up. So little undersized. That's why I kind of on the last guy was like, some people say he's undersized, but I'm like, maybe not. I mean, right now we're kind of getting a little bit more undersized here with this frame.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, his weakness is he gets knocked for size, like 5'11", 192. I think he's more of a back end guy. So he's your back of the line. I love between the ears, unlike what we just talked about. I love his instincts. I love what he can do on the back end, his read and react. Obviously 4.62, not great, Chris. That's not a great 40 time for a safety. That's a good 40 time for like a defensive end. There were some DNs that ran faster than that, quite frankly, Chris, in this draft. So 4.62 is concerning. Yeah. That's why he's not going to go in, along with that size at 5'11", 192. I don't know if you can ask him to like line up as a safety in the slot against like a big tight end and expect him to be able to cover that tight end who's going to have so much size on him and height and whatnot. So size will limit what he can do in the NFL, but as far as being in the right position at the right time and read and react and the guy you can trust on your back end to make the right play, he's that guy. It's weird, Chris, because we're talking about a guy that went to Georgia, and I don't often, when talking about Georgia guys, say like, oh, lack of athleticism. But that's kind of what we're talking about this guy.
Yeah.
He's not super athletic. Kind of mixes in with the safety class that lacks athleticism at times, but a guy that at least you can trust on the back end, but may not go until 4th or 5th round, frankly.
Yeah. In the chat, what kind of the tees in the white helmets? What style of white helmets do you think is going to be? And then Cuban just responds as always. It's the vape cloud white. Hi-oh! Yeah, it's probably going to be similar to that. No,
he did then say Denver D with the old horse.
Which,
like, by the old horse, you mean like the super old, like the bucking weird horse, like the weird.
I honestly, I love the old D. I love the D horses.
Well, you've always loved the D, Chris.
I knew I walked into that.
It's a trap.
I knew I walked into that one. But it is what it is. Now I can't even talk about it. Because I'm just thrown off. But yeah, I know.
Everyone else in the chat, like, why are we talking? What are you talking about? A white helmet? The Broncos are gonna have a white helmet this year that they're gonna wear like 1 or 2 times.
Yeah, and so,
but they haven't released what it's gonna look like.
No, they haven't yet. But I feel like I would like to just go with the normal Bronco that they have on their regular helmets with the white. I think that could look good.
You're the first person I've heard say that, Chris.
I don't think it would look as bad as everyone's hating on it. I don't think it would look as bad as what everyone's saying. But
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go. Helv's like, fuck it. Should I go for 3 beers tonight? I mean,
yeah. I mean,
let's go. Helv.
Let's go. Why not?
While we're at it.
Let's get after it.
You know?
Yeah. It's a race.
Like, nah, I'm even 6.
Yeah, let's get after it. Get out of those gates.
3's a lot then? Three's a lot?
Is that the limit? Is that what we're talking about? Next up on our list, we have Jamie Robinson, safety out of Florida, 5'11", 191, 4.59 40. You have a player comp here, Xavier McKinney, Jamie Robinson out of Florida State. 99 tackles in 2022, an interception, 5 passes broken up, He's a good player, little undersized. I feel like Cuban said it. They keep getting smaller. They're all pretty small, and they keep getting smaller. It's like they keep shrinking.
Smaller and slower. I think he said slower as well. But
it's slower.
He's slightly faster than the 4.62 we just had. 4.59, also not great.
And ranging from around fourth round to sixth round as of right now. It's
you know how hard it was for me to get 8 safeties to rank in this class. There's only like 0 that I like.
I mean,
heavily,
and some people are saying he might need to be a nickelback in the NFL as well. Potentially.
Look at this photograph. Is that what you meant?
Nick, that caught me off guard.
I was waiting for it.
I mean, we talk about. Is this the second time we brought up Nickelback in the last month and a half?
Chris, I'm gonna be honest. I feel bad for Nickelback. What did they do wrong? Everyone liked them, and then all of a sudden
we always defend on some Nickelback, Scotty.
Yeah.
And
what did they do wrong?
So I think we've hit the over for Sky singing on the year.
Already?
Well, I think so.
Then I should have pounded the over because
I mean it's only
like it's been that much.
It's only April. It's only April 9th.
Yeah.
So but Jamie Robinson.
I like calling him Jammy. Because can he jam at the line of scrimmage? Not really. He's small.
No. Little guy.
Listen. This guy, you won't ever question his work ethic. He's hard work. I'm trying to find traits here, Chris. He's always in the right. He's similar to the guy we just talked about, quite frankly.
Yeah.
He's similar in the sense he's smart, he's heady, he's in the right spot, he plays his ass off. He's undersized. I mean, these guys have to play like zone. They predominantly zone coverage teams where you're not asked to match up in the middle of the field against a tight end. Like that, it can't happen. It can't happen. Jammy can't jam a tight end at the line of scrimmage. He's not fast, not overly athletic. I don't know, man. He's okay. He can be serviceable for a team that's very zone heavy because you can trust him to be in the right spot in that zone. You don't have to rely as much on athleticism, and you're playing with more smarts. And he takes great angles. He's great at taking angles to the ball. Chris.
All about angles, man. He must be good at math too.
Yeah, dominant at math.
Yeah.
What do you hate? What do you hate more, the safety class or last year's quarterback class?
Oh.
They're both bad. This one's rough though. This safety class is rough, but I mean,
people care more about quarterbacks, so it's easier to talk about.
Quarterbacks matter more. So when it comes to
Chris, next time we're gonna have to talk about linebackers, and don't get me started. That's garbage as well. But we got tight ends left, and this might be the best
tight end
tight end class we've ever seen. I'm so excited talk about the tight ends.
Don't forget about the special teamers.
You love
getting some kick and punter talk and long snapper.
We're not talking about long snappers.
You get well, we can't wait. Scotty's really excited about those tight ends. Yeah.
Really excited about those long snappers.
Love me a good tight end.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure you do.
Well, and as a Chiefs fan, just we're used to greatness at that position.
So are we.
This guy sprints like
what?
Cuban. Come on, man. This guy
Miller,
sprints like
Fryermuth.
a punching bag. I'm a third.
Will be forgotten in 3 years.
He's already top 5 tight end.
No, he's not. Absolutely not.
Third, Ashai super dry tonight. Drinking time, baby. Let's go. I'll drink to that. Steve Francis wouldn't buy a jacket for Nickelback. What's about buying? Yeah. Don't buy no jacket.
No, they referenced it earlier. I guess Steve Francis was drafted by Vancouver.
And
be drafted by Vancouver. And
didn't want
no part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
It just wasn't.
More than Eli.
Canada, eh? There were NFL players. Eli. Yeah. John Elway that didn't want to be drafted by certain teams either.
True.
And got directed in certain directions. So it happens.
Tight ends on the male human species.
What is a Asahi Super Dry?
I want to.
What's a Asahi Super Dry?
Probably some Canadian beer.
Either that, or maybe like a it's Japanese style beer or something. I don't think.
It sounds maybe,
I don't know.
Yeah, Japanese or something.
Yeah, I mean, super dry. I feel like. Oh, I called it.
Japanese beer. I
Yeah.
mean, Asahi kind of sounds like a Japanese.
And anytime you talk about dry beer, you're talking about like some sort of Japanese style beer, I think.
Which it's weird because it's a liquid, Chris. So how can it be dry?
Very dry. Very dry.
Ever heard of dry cleaning? They dry clean with dry beer.
I don't know what that means. Tight ends on the male human species is always a good sight to see. LOL.
Yeah.
Scotty agrees. He loves himself some tight ends this year.
Love the tight ends.
Deep in the tight ends. Deep.
So much depth and strength there. We'll get into it, but
Especially the male tight end.
There's just a lot,
yeah.
a lot to be excited about when it comes to those.
Female tight end has ever played in the league, so of course it's male tight end.
Yet.
No, ever.
Yet.
I mean, yet.
Next up,
never mind.
number 4, we have Jordan Battle, safety out of Alabama, 6'1", 209 pounds, 4.55 40. Marcus May is the player comp here. Battle recorded 71 tackles, 2 passes broken up, and an interception in 2022. Great for the Crimson Tide, making splash plays left and right. And they feel he has, a pretty solid upside, but may have some limitations in some areas. Scotty, there's a reason why he's dropping to rounds 3 through 5, depending on where he ends up landing. Could be a potential starter at the next level. Depending on where he lands, but I feel like we've talked about a lot about these safeties of not being super exciting. There are some things that you might not like, but Scotty, what are those?
I'm battling to give compliments here, Chris.
I'm trying to make some of them sound more exciting than they are.
I know, but literally this guy's the same dude we've just referenced for the last.
All right, so stop here. Well, the analysis, just rewind the tape and just watch the previous 2, and you'll get Jordan Battle here. Like,
this dude is like all of the other. He's solid in every aspect, but nothing. He's not elite at anything. He's solid but boring, but not elite.
Boring.
And also, you question because he's covered up because he's surrounded by elite players at Alabama. Like, can he be great when he's separated from that? I don't know. He's fine. He's the lesser of the 2 Alabama safeties we're going to talk about tonight. So he's okay. He's all right. He's fine. If you take him in like the 4th round and plug him in as a starter, he might do okay for you.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Keep it simple. Keep it quick. Let's go. On to the next one. Number 3, Sidney Brown. Safety, Illinois, 5'10". Little guy again. They keep getting smaller. They keep shrinking. But he's got some beef to him though. 211 pounds, 4.47 40. Dante Whitner is the player comp. By the way, when I was looking up graphics for this dude, he's like ripped, like 6-pack. He's showing it off. He's a massive dude.
His muscles have muscles.
His muscles have muscles. It's like, it's the shocking pictures when you saw like certain athletes, that you're just like, what is that? That specimen. That's what this guy is. He's like in the gym. Safety for the Fighting Illini past few seasons. And he was dynamic playmaker, 59 tackles, 1 sack, 7 passes broken up, 6 interceptions. Productive. 88 tackles in 2019 if you're going a little bit further back. But put a nice Senior Bowl. People think he's a good player. They have him rated between round 2 to round 4. As high as 2. So, I mean, we're starting to get to the upper echelon of the safety class here as we get to the final couple of players. But some people say he just gets knocked around a lot in the box, has some size limitations, as we mentioned, but he's gritty. He's helped himself with strong combine workouts. So, when it comes to, that aspect, he's, putting good stuff on tape. But, I mean, here you go. Mandalorians, by the way, Mandalorian's having a great time with the tight end talk and the sexy bodies. A Mandalorian, she's enjoying this stream quite a bit.
His body is to die for. Oops, with the shirt off.
Are we getting?
I imagine he will wear his shirt. Unless a shirt is required, he will wear a shirt in like training camp 0% of the time.
No, 0. He's gonna be he's gonna be one of those guys that Mandalorian's gonna show up and be like, oh, this is nice. Are we in ActionLab After Dark? Are we in that? Did we make it to that point again? Do we always somehow get to this point?
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
No,
okay.
No one's asked for it. No one's doing it.
No.
Wait, why isn't your shirt off yet?
I've been comped to Sidney Brown quite often in my life.
Bruh. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah, because I run a 4.47 40 and I'm ripped. I'm a little taller. I'm not 5'10". I'm not a midget.
You mean like me?
I mean,
are you small, Rack? Are you little? Are you itty bitty?
I'm 5'10".
Yes.
I'm 5'10".
Chris, you're not. Chris, are you 5'10"?
Well, 5'10"-ish, 5'10" and a half.
I'm gonna go 5'9". I'm gonna right now. I don't know. I haven't really paid that close attention.
I almost spit on my drink. You always try to give yourself that extra half inch, and I was really trying to push it, and then and then I went the opposite.
Scotty always likes that extra half inch.
Oh,
no. What?
I can feel it all the way down in my plug.
Don't question
And
it.
with that, I bid Rec adieu.
And banned, Rex.
Well, now you're banned.
He gone.
He gone.
You'll never hear him again, guys. You're welcome.
Welcome
He's
to
done.
ActionLab Sports After Dark. Welcome all you guys who are new. Hit that follow button if you haven't already. Enjoy the spicy content.
As I talk about Sidney Brown, Rec is fading to black. I don't know. I tried.
They tried.
Anyway, Chris, I don't know. This dude is reckless. He's a heat-seeking missile with muscles on muscles on muscles. Zero hesitation in his game. Plays all out, instinctive, around the action. At times that can get him in trouble with he misses tackles sometimes because he's just so straight line speed. Like at times that's going to be great because he's going to make a play on a ball that on a tackle that gives up less yards, but he also will miss tackles from time to time because he's so aggressive in that mindset. Like he is absolutely wild. Is 4.47, so he's fast enough to play safety in the league. 5'10", doesn't have the lengthy arm, so he could be a problem in coverage at times. But I like his mindset. I like that people like his body like a Mandalorian. So I'm here for that, I guess. But otherwise, I don't know. I expect him to go late second, third, somewhere in that range. Probably third round.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I think now we're starting to get some quality players. He's still with the limitations of size. I still think he could be a nice contributor, right off the bat. So we'll see. Sidney Brown, number 3. Number 2, Antonio Johnson, safety out of Texas A&M. 6'2", 198, 4.52, 40. You got J-Ron Curse here, number 2 on our list, and been solid. 71 tackles, a sack, 3 forced fumbles, and a pass broken up in 2022. Went down with an injury against Alabama, and while he missed a good portion of the season, he played well in the final weeks. So, he was able to bounce back, but did not have a super fast 40, but he looked good in all the other field drills.
4.52 is perfectly fine.
I mean,
for safety class,
that's
63rd percentile among the safeties, Chris.
So almost perfectly average.
Good enough. 63rd? There's only 37 behind him, Chris. I don't know. He's like almost 2/3 better. Or,
I mean,
he's in the top third almost. Is that what I meant to say? I think that's what I meant to say.
Math, I don't know. So either way, he's coming in round 2 or 3 as far as his draft position. So that's kind of if your team is in that range, if you have plenty of picks in those ranges, you need some help on the back end of your defense, this is maybe a way you look. Scotty, what do you think here? I got some stuff in the chat coming. We're going to get to that in a second.
Yeah. Cuban, great body, can get in the box and not afraid to pound a tight end. So that's a good trait for him. Mandalorian boo on Antonio Johnson, pass. So in that sense, I'm like, maybe this guy doesn't look good with his shirt off.
No, he does not.
Questionable in that facet. So listen, 6'2", big boy, tall, long, athletic, versatile. Can do a lot of different things for a defensive coordinator if he's asked to do it. His question mark is like he's more of a downhill straight line guy. If you ask him to play coverage where he has to turn and move his hips and play coverage in that respect side to side, he hasn't really shown that he can do that. So, but straight line speed, length, and athleticism places him here at second. I think he's going to be a third rounder. I don't see him going in the top 2 rounds, which leaves us with only one tight end going in the top 2 rounds, in my opinion, Chris, that we have left to talk about here.
Yeah. So there you go, Antonio Johnson. By the way, someone said on Reddit, he's the next Eli Apple. Oof.
Bruh.
Like personality-wise?
Or playing-wise, or both.
Well, Eli's a corner, but...
Yeah, but either way, personality or playing, that's both a bad thing to be.
It's not great either way, but it's worse personality.
Yeah.
Oof. I don't know. I don't need me no Eli
Actually,
Apple.
It's bad either way. You're right.
Yeah. Although I hope he's enjoying Cancun though.
I mean, 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Yeah. All right. Next. Last safety on our list, and our number 1 position is Brian Branch. Brian Branch is going to be most likely a first-round pick. He is probably the top of this class of a bunch of maybe not so great safeties that you would normally expect from year to year when it comes to this position. But recorded 90 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, 7 passes broken up in 2022. He could be some people say he could be a hybrid corner safety similar to like a Minka Fitzpatrick, but he could play nickel corner or serve as a safety in the middle of the field. So he could do a little bit of everything, very versatile. So, you could kind of slot him use him in a lot of different ways. Very instinctual with his playmaking. Speed blitzer, he can, do a lot. Lacks in size a little bit here, is only 190 pounds. And so, that kind of comes into play when it comes to the size of him. But otherwise, he's very, very versatile. He could do a lot of different things. It's kind of his calling card here.
Yeah, I mean, he's versatile. He's a jack of all trades. Is he super athletic? He's the number 1 safety in this class. Is he crazy athletic? No. You see 4'5", 40, 190 pounds isn't huge. 6 foot's fine, but he's not super big, not super athletic, and it doesn't necessarily even show up on tape at times. But he's a great tackler. Led all of FBS with anyone that had 90 or more tackles. He only had a missed tackle rate of 3.2%, best in all of football. They used him as a blitzer off the edge at the safety spot. He did great there. Can fly off the edge, natural instincts, all of the things you want to see in that asset. He's kind of a tweener, and the size isn't huge or great, but he's good in the box. Even with that, he is, as you talked about, here's the one guy by far of the safety class I feel okay putting him in the slot and having him cover the guy on the other team, whether that's a tight end or a slot receiver. He's the best slot defender as far as a safety in this class, and I don't think it's particularly close. He can play it. He was asked to do that a lot actually at Alabama, and did it just fine. He'll mix it up in the run game. He'll do all of those things. So here's a guy I wouldn't take in the first round. I think he's a second rounder.
I'll drink to that.
He could go late first. I'd be shocked. I think he's going to go in the second round as the top safety on this board. We're talking about no one that's going to be drafted in the top 35 picks of this draft, in my opinion.
All right. Well, there you have it.
And we
Cheers.
made it through that was difficult, guys.
That was rough. That was rough, but we made it. We made it, Scotty. Scotty been drinking from the same empty Truly can for the past hour. Yeah, probably.
No, it's not even a Truly can.
Oh,
anymore.
he's evolved
Kirkland.
to the Kirkland.
Oh.
There you go.
No, I've downgraded to Kirkland.
Well, either way, we needed plenty of Kirkland seltzers to get through that safety.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it was rough. So we are gonna wrap up. I think the last two positions we have coming up here are what is it? The tight ends, which we're super excited about.
Clearly.
And what was the other one, Scotty? We have the
Linebackers.
Chris.
Yep, linebackers.
How could
Not
we
a
forget
great-
about the long
not-
snappers?
Not a great linebacker